Today's the day we return to NCM for the last track event of the year. I actually intended for this car's track debut to be this exact event 3 years ago. That said, even if it had worked out that way, I probably would have been in for a world of misery. But that's a story for another time.
They told me I have to put this on the car. I didn't pick this. No hate against the anime bros, but I wasn't thinking, well, I'm gonna be edgy and put an anime character on my car. For some reason, it's what we're doing today. I don't think we're leaking or anything. Yeah, we're solid. We are not leaking any power steering fluid. Check up front. Nothing of apparent concern. Already topped off the fluids last night and everything. I think we're good to go. I'm gonna start it up because it's about time to get moving. So we just finished the first, well, the only lead and follow session, and now we're gonna have passing on straights, passing point by on straights. The car felt amazing, way better than it felt last time I was here. That felt good because last time I had a lot of car issues and it was a little bit of a humiliating experience, but we made it through it. This time I feel like the car and I are a little more in sync and it really wants to go. I'm gonna check the tires here in a bit to make sure that we're still in good shape. Steering feels way better. I cannot believe I came to this track without power steering earlier this year. But the Volvo power steering pump, fantastic. Can't recommend it enough. I imagine it'll make it through the day. The car, just running well. There's not much else to say other than couldn't have gone much better. And hopefully it continues to stay like this. So next up, hot laps. All right. Okay, so I came here today with a few goals in mind. I wasn't sure what would end up working out, but the car has been really good to me today. It started overheating, and I was afraid that I had a major overheating issue, and then I actually was afraid I had a fire. But when I was going down the straight, I saw that the temps were going down really quick. So I think I just burned off quite a bit of coolant. I'm gonna check the coolant reservoir when the temps are a little lower. Right now it's probably boiling. But I came here with a few goals today. First one was to beat my fastest time in the BMW from like 2021. And I did that. It was like a low 3 minutes or something like that. Then on my second lap, I hit my next goal, which was a sub 3. And these aren't amazing NCM times. These are just in comparison to how I've done in my cars in the past. I did a sub 3. I did like a 257 or something like that. I'll have the actual number here in a bit. And it's not like I was driving like some genius. It was pretty messy, actually. And I was nervous. I didn't lose control. I almost lost control at one point, and I'm so thankful that I installed the power steering pump because I was able to pull it back. I just lost traction a bit, and I was able to correct. But anyway, yeah, I'm very happy because if nothing else, I hit every single goal that I really hoped to hit today. The only thing that could make me happier would be to do a solid NCM lap. And I think what's holding me back from that is I'm very nervous when I get really, really fast. Like by the time I'm upwards of 100 miles an hour, last time I was here, I didn't get it on video, but I was going down the back straight and I lost control a bit and I couldn't pull it back because I didn't have power steering. Similar to what happened today. And I lost control of the car. It was humiliating, threw off my whole day, but I ended up finishing out the day. It was fine. But this time around, I've been able to trust the car. It's been good to me. I'm going to put some more coolant in it. I'm going to take a look at everything. One more thing I want to note is I need to upgrade these brakes. I mean, they're decent brakes. I mean, they're all right. You can see they're drilled and slotted, but they feel sketchy when I'm going at a really high speed. So as much as I would like to be booking it like 130 or something like that, by the time I get to those, well, again, like I said, when I get above 100 miles an hour, I'm nervous to hold it. I don't want to wait until the braking zone. I'm not even waiting until the braking zone to hit the brakes. I'm sort of feathering it. I'm like, okay, this is good. I think we're about there. Next session, I may try waiting to hit the brakes altogether until I actually hit the braking zone, even if it's like as far out as I possibly can, just to see what the car does. I don't want to overdrive the car. I think the tires are fine. Everything seems to be holding up okay. And again, I'm really glad that there wasn't a major issue or anything. I was really worried when I saw the temperature was super high. But yeah, we've accomplished our goals for today. So now we're just gonna have fun and hopefully learn a little more and do a little better. See if we can shave down those lap times. Okay, so we gotta go. We may have to miss the next session. No, we don't have to miss the next session. This isn't plugged into anything. I didn't even notice that until just now. Oh, it would have been plugged into the old harness, I guess. We now have a full coolant reservoir. We now have no more spare coolant. So, I'm gonna do this next session and we'll see if we make it all the way through. Then between that session and the following, we're gonna run to the parts store and get some more green coolant for my pour clips. was the second hot session. I was a little nervous, and I spent a little too much time checking stuff. I went out late on purpose, but I went out a little too late because then everybody lapping me caught up and I had to point by literally everyone and their mother. I hate being in the way, but the car held up. It didn't do anything weird. I misshifted. Not ideal to do that. I wish I drove better. I didn't do a sub 3 this time. So I'm like, eh. But I was sort of more concerned about both the health of the car and not being an obstacle to the faster drivers. So it was just one of those sort of things, you know. But we're going to go get some lunch, pick up some coolant. Maybe I'll go faster later. I've already accomplished the goals that I wanted to accomplish. I'll talk to my assigned instructor and see what things are looking like. But that's all I've got for now. That's interesting. That's pretty interesting. Okay. Yeah, we dumped what was into the overflow into the car. And the overflow is pretty low because we don't have coolant here. I was like, we have to go get some more coolant. I guess, as it turns out, the overflow is getting overrun. And that would explain where all my coolant's going. All right, we're gonna look into that. I'm gonna call my tuner, Steven, and see what he has to say about it. I don't know what that means, so I guess we'll find out. All right, I'm here with
my name's Ryan Muckherjee.
Ryan Muckherjee. I did not ask your name before. I'm so sorry about that.
Just for the record, no, I was not aware that the back of my hat was completely inside out for the entire duration of this clip. Anyway.
But he's my instructor today, and he agreed to let me ask him a couple of questions. I just rode in your Honda Fit, and it's absolutely insane. I was sitting there like, I am going to be chill. I'm not going to react, so he'll be impressed by how chill I was. But like by the time we flew into the first corner, I was like, yeah, I got to hold on to something here. So like, how do you carry so much speed in this kind of car?
Yeah, so obviously our entry speed is going to be a lot lower than some of the higher horsepower cars. You know, turn 5, for example, we're here at NCM Motorsports Park. We're entering probably right about 100, but the car is very light. So I think that with the amount of camber that it has in the front and good stiff suspension, it just turns in and it's able to carry the speed. But it also goes a lot into the inputs that you give the car. As long as you're smooth and not making any sudden inputs on the pedals, that it behaves as it should.
How long have you been driving?
So I've been driving since 2018. I actually started in autocross. I had a Honda Civic, 8th gen, and then I moved to an FRS, which I did autocross in, and actually Binge Tokyo in 2021 was my first ever track day.
Which one? Was it?
It was the one in January or March.
March?
Yeah.
I was there as well.
That's perfect. Yeah,
that
small world.
That was my very first track day.
Yep.
And then I switched cars, so I didn't do this for like 3 years. So
yeah.
You went from that event and got to Gridlife. You're in Gridlife Sundae Cup. So What happened after that event? What made you choose Sundae Cup if you had an FRS at that point?
Yeah, so kind of continue on with the FRS. I got bit by the bug. I loved Binge. It was the most fun. I also had an instructor at the time that was awesome, and he got me hooked. So then with that, I found out about SCCA. They have a great time trials program and a great novice time trials program. So I started competing in that. And then I found out about Gridlife, and it just attracted me a lot more. I think I like the cars that they have a little bit better, and they had a spec class, which is maybe not truly spec, but it's as spec as you can get in Gridlife Time Attack. And that's why I chose this. The cost of entry is significantly lower compared to any other class that they have. The mods are pretty simple, so it really evens out and levels out the playing field, which is what I want. I don't want to worry, is my car up to pace? I want to be able to judge myself as a driver. So.
And what made you choose the Honda Fit?
At the time in Sundae Cup, this was in 2023, last year. It was kind of the main car in Sundae Cup, and it was truly maybe the Kickstarter for the whole class. So for me, I didn't want to have to redo all the engineering and all the testing that all the guys before me had done. So it was easy. I could pick up the car, just copy and paste all the modifications, and then get right in and start going. Yeah.
Nice. Did you find it intimidating going from, I don't know how long you're doing SCCA before you
2
went
years.
over to Grid?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it definitely was intimidating. The thing is I think the caliber of driver that is currently in Gridlife Time Attack is of the highest of any other. And they do a live stream, so you don't want to, I think that's where my nerves came from.
Yeah,
I wanted to come
it
in,
goes viral.
yeah, and make sure that I treated it with respect and people could trust me on track. But like I said, I mentioned to you earlier, if you get in with their HPDE program, you get to know all the people that you're going to be running with anyway, and I think that helped me get my confidence up a lot more before the first time attack round.
And that comes to my last question. What advice would you give to a beginner, basically someone in the position that you were in when you were interested, or even, I guess, my position now, because it took me a lot longer, and just now sort of trying to get to regularly track the car. I'm just now to where I can trust mine.
Yeah, one thing is it's never too late. I will say, don't wait too long. Don't wait for a car to be finished. Don't wait to have the perfect car. If you see a group that you want to run with, start talking to the people that you can meet that are already doing it. Ask them as many questions as possible, and then find out what's the easiest entry-level point to get in. And like I said, if that's HPDE or if there is a time attack opening, just go do it and make friends along the way, because they'll help you and they'll knock off all the nerves for you.
That's awesome. And you've knocked off the nerves for me,
Yeah.
so I really
Awesome.
appreciate it.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Of course, thank you.
Right now.
We went out and got some more coolant. This thing seems to be pushing quite a bit of it, but I also did misshift, so maybe I just threw the whole thing off. I'm gonna leave the overflow tank kind of empty to see if it fills up again. I'll try not to drive like a complete idiot, so we can see if the head gasket may be going. Hopefully it doesn't go in the middle of a rut. I don't know. Car's had a break for the past couple hours. pushing coolant, which means my head gasket is probably bad, probably from misshifting a couple times. It's honestly probably lucky that the car didn't blow the head gasket entirely while we were on the track. But that didn't stop me from getting my fastest time. I cut it down by like 7 seconds, I think, 250. Not the fastest time in the world, but it's fast compared to before, and I think I'll take the W. I'll call this a W and take it. Yeah, that's the state of things.